Hey everybody, welcome on in to Sports Live in the 215. Today we will discuss the Eagles' NFC Championship game victory over the Washington Commanders. We're going to the Super Bowl for the third time in 8 years. This is just an absolutely dominant run, and with two different coaches, two different quarterbacks, um, and obviously the same group of guys that went to the Super Bowl, or mostly the same group of guys that went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Um, a, a few of the older guys from the 2017 team are are coming kind of coming uh, around again. This will be their third Super Bowl. This will be the guys that were on the 22 team, their second Super Bowl. Um, I think it just speaks to what an incredible job Howie Roseman has done. Um, and real quick programming note before we truly jump into it, I just want to say, since my college semester just started at Towson University, um, this will most likely be the setup. We'll probably do the podcast episodes in the morning before I head off to school. So, all right, but yeah, Howie Roseman's done an incredible job. Um, Supplementing this roster with good starters, good depth, really, really good young players, which is what any championship team needs. Like those guys that are going to be next up when the older guys retire. Because if you don't have adequate replacements for the older guys, you're not going to be um, at the top of the conference mountain for very long. Once those guys retire, you'll need to start looking for some new guys. So Howie Roseman, he's done an incredible job um, getting or he's done an incredible job drafting and signing guys before the older guys retire. So the guys that are next up, so to say, will have um, like a year or two to learn under the established veteran, like a Jason Kelsey, like a Fletcher Cox. And then when those guys eventually retire, or in BG's case, Nolan Smith. So when those remaining members of like the core four or any of your other veterans retire, you already have adequate replacements on roster, and he just has done an absolutely incredible job. He's very well. He should get plenty of votes for Executive of the Year, which would be his third in his career. Like it's crazy. It took the Eagles after their 1960 championship. It took the Eagles another 20 years to get to another Super Bowl, and then following that, it took another took another 17. Um, so that's uh, or that took another 24. So that's 37 years between championship game appearances, and to go to and then following that, it took another or well, from 80 to 2004 was 24. So that would be 47 years between championship game appearances, and then and then Super Bowl appearances. But then you go from 04 to 17. That's another 13 years. And following that, to just have three Super Bowls 3 Super Bowl appearances in 8 years is an astronomical rate of success. And the crazy thing is, we're gonna be a problem for a while. Howie Roseman's only 47 years old, so he'll be a GM. He'll be the Eagles GM for a while. But Nick Sirianni, he's 40, so all signs are pointing to him being the Eagles head football coach for a while. So we should be contending for the top of the mountain for years to come. With that being said, let's get into this game. I thought the Eagles just dominated really from the outset. Saquon Barkley, after Washington got their field goal, Saquon Barkley first play just said, "Nope, you're not winning this game." And yeah, he was absolutely electric. Our passing game was really good too. AJ, Devontae, Dallas. I thought everybody on offense was good, and each time the defense came back in the game, or each time the Commanders came back in the game, I don't know why I said defense. The Eagles offense just said, "Nope, this is our NFC Championship. You're not taking this from us." Cute little story, Washington. But nope. Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn. I'm sure they'll have their moment in the sun, but it's not this year. Maybe a few years down the line. That quarterback over there, in all seriousness, he is absolutely no joke. Yeah, he's the real deal. And with Dan Quinn, the head coach, and the guy that's running that defense, they're going to be a threat in the NFC for years to come, along with us and the Lions, and the Rams, Vikings. The NFC is going to be a bloodbath, and I'm excited for it. I mean, I already touched on Barkley. Kenny G had a nice game. Who else? Will Shipley. Will Shipley had a nice game on special teams. Even got a few carries, broke a long run, but could not score. Which was when the game was already kind of salted away, and we were preparing for the NFC or the George Halas Trophy presentation to be presented to Jeffrey Lurie and the Eagles organization. So there was a time where the NFL kind of ranked the Eagles. I want to say it's like the number 3 snake bitten franchise in all of the NFL, and now that list seems like a distant memory. That was on an episode of NFL Top 10. This particular episode was called Snake Bitten Teams. But anyway, I digress. They're not snake bitten anymore. They've been to the playoffs. They've been to the playoffs each of the last like 7 years. So I would hardly call that snake bitten. They got some I don't know what it would be called, but like venom repellent. So that's good. We desperately needed it as a fan base, as an organization. So I'm glad the Eagles were able to kind of cure their snake bitten status, and we're able to get back to close to the mountaintop. And now we're in a situation, in the words of the almighty Ric Flair, to beat to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! Sorry, I had to pull out a Ric Flair impersonation on this podcast, and obviously we know who the Chiefs are. They're they are the wrestling equivalent of Ric Flair. They've been great since Patrick Mahomes took over in 2018, and even before that, when Andy Reid took over in 2013, he really brought out the best in Alex Smith. That's why he's one of the best head coaches, particularly with quarterbacks, in all of the NFL. So we know we're facing Ric Flair, and we've got to we've got to go. We've got to have a 60-minute classic with him. So in my head, I'm saying okay, let's be Ricky Steamboat. Let's be the baby face that everybody wants to win, because the alternative is Ric Flair winning a 17th world championship, or fourth in the Chiefs case, but a third in a row. So we just gotta come out and play our best ball. And if we do that, we have a tremendous chance to win. I've known never to doubt the Eagles, especially as long as number one is back there. As long as we got that guy, I mean, special things can happen. He's such a special person, such a special player, and it's so exciting to watch him play. And same with Barkley, same with AJ, Devontae, Dallas. I mean, our whole squad, prayers up to Nakobe, obviously, is really, really exciting, and the just their connectivity is something that should be admired. It's awesome to see where this franchise was after the firing of Doug Peterson. There were reports of infighting between he and Carson Wentz, which I believe led to both of their moving on, because one thing you need to do with cancer is you can't let it like metastasize, or whatever the word is. As always, any doctors in my comments, please correct me, but you got to cut it out. And Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman did a tremendous job of that in the 2021 offseason. So, and now we're going to our second Super Bowl in 3 years. And this team, with how young they are, this will not be their only other shot at a Super Bowl. They'll have plenty more chances, because I believe AJ is only 27. Jalen, same age. Nakobe, believe he's 24, 25, even though he's injured right now. Jalen Carter, same thing. So we have a bunch of really good young guys, and there are reports that BG could potentially be back for the Super Bowl. So as much as as much of a low probability as that may be, I would certainly love to see that. Just even if Brandon Graham is just a decoy at pass rusher, if we can even have him out there, that would be such a miracle. Like coming back from a torn tricep in late November is an incredible feat. And hopefully BG comes back. And I think this this secondary will certainly rise to the occasion with all 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 the receiving talent the Chiefs do have at their disposal. But I wouldn't count out Darius Slay and these young kids for when it comes to putting up a performance in a big game. We've seen it 3 times already this year, and even before that, even in the regular season. So I wouldn't count out this defense, even though we are missing Nakobe and BG, which are two of our best players on that side of the football. So we'll see what happens. It should be exciting. I'm gonna be in New Orleans next week for the Super Bowl festivities. So guys, let me know what type of content you'd want to see when Sports Live in the 215 hits the road. And with that being said, as always, go Birds.